Hello everyone. I'm back with a live stream. I hope you'll bear with me as we go through this live stream because I've never really done one before, and I'm trying to get all the different interactions between the softwares and things worked out, trying to get bugs worked out of it. So please bear with me as we go through this. Um, I definitely have a lot to learn. Uh, there's a lot more to this than a lot of people think. So we're going to try to work our way through it, find out what bugs I come up with and what issues I have, and then I'll make a list and start fixing them one by one. But what I wanted to do was get on here and one, do a test run, and secondly, I thought I would come on here and introduce myself a little bit more in depth, kind of give a background of how I got to where I am here. Um, my name's Ed Couch. Um, I've been around. Uh, I've been around the maintenance and skilled trades fields my whole life. I have worked with a lot of CNC equipment, uh, mostly servos and encoders and tachometers, those kind of systems. Um, Definitely familiar with G code. That was back in my 20s when I was doing that. I probably got about 15 years off and on in that field. We had plasma cutting tables and things like that that used the G code. We had ESOB automation, ESOB auto path, Bernie 5 controllers. So I'm not a stranger to CNC stuff. I'm not a stranger to G code. Uh, Stepper motors and their control. This is a new thing. None of the equipment I've ever worked on had stepper motors, so I have some learning to do there, but I don't think I'll have any problem getting a hold of that. It's just going to take me a little while. There's a lot to do, a lot to take in. At the same time, I'm trying to get the video production system up and running better. I've tinkered with little home videos and stuff on YouTube for a little while and was monetized there for a little while, and I did make a little bit of money, not a lot, but every little bit helps. So I've just come to the conclusion that I want to pursue this farther. I want to take it to the next level. I want to try to refine my skills and see where I can take this thing. If you've seen my last couple videos, you'll see that my goal right now is I definitely want to go into 3D printing. I've never done that. It looks like a lot of fun, and I am currently accumulating parts to build one from scratch. Um, I have to do it on the cheap because income right now is extremely low. We are living on a tight budget, so I just always have my eyes open. That way I can, if I come across something that I think I can turn into a part for the 3D printer, then I'll pick it up. I also have to work on a room in the basement right now. I've got a temporary room set up in the back of the bedroom with a green screen and trying to learn that as well. Try to uh, get all the bugs worked out again. It's just a lot to take on, but I think I'm making quite a bit of progress every day, so it's coming together. I'm very happy with it. Live streaming is definitely something different than recording your videos and editing them and making them, you know, presentable. With live streaming, everything I screw up, you're going to see immediately. So expect to see a lot of that. My plans for the channel, the things that I got going on. I mentioned in the other videos a little bit that basically anything that is electronic, computer, 3D print related, those are the things I want to work on. And as I work on them, and as I can and time allows, I want to include Patrick, my grandson, and maybe some of the other grandkids if they have any interest in it. At this point, he's the main one. He's excited. He's a little shy. He's not doing much talking yet, but he will. I'm excited for that. And I also said in one of the other videos, this is kind of a legacy I'll be able to leave behind, and long after I'm gone, my grandkids will be able to go back, as long as YouTube's around or they haven't wiped out the videos. They'll be able to go back and see Grandpa, PaPaw. So I have several years, I guess. Well, let me back up. As I said, I've got a lot of years in the past where I worked with CNC equipment. I primarily was an electrician. Been a journeyman electrician for 25 years. I primarily focused on control systems. Controls have always been my niche. I do very good with those, always have. They interest me the most because they're such a challenge, and there are so many different ways to control everything. So sorry about the light. I see some glare there. There's another bug I have to work out. But after I'd done control systems for that long, I kind of started getting bored. So I took a right turn and decided that I wanted to, I don't know, try something new. And one of the things that I had always wanted to learn was HVAC. So I ventured off into that realm for several years. It was, for the most part, it was an easy transfer for me because of being able to adapt to control systems. And that's a lot of the issues is controls. So I went off and done that and enjoyed it, and have been able to help my son learn it, and he's off in that field now. So that was a good move, and I'm proud of him for all the things that he's doing and learning, and he's working on getting his schooling and some certifications. And then I wound up having some health issues, and things had to change up, and so we've made quite a few changes. We are trying to put together a business right now. It's just online, but our eventual goal is to have a brick and mortar store, because as I physically cannot do more and more, we still need income. So trying to catch it in time and migrate to a business that doesn't require as much physical activity. Things that I used to have to go spend 8, 10, 12 hours a day on a 100 or more degree roof, or out in blizzard weather, because heating and air, you're busiest when it's the coldest or the hottest. So had to kind of shy away from that some and taper that back. So but anyway, we've made that move, but in making that move, it has reduced the cash flow. So all the things that I do in this area are going to have to be extremely cheap, or fines, whatever, and you're going to see a lot of that, and you're going to see a lot of things that you're probably going to think, I wouldn't do it that way, or there's a better way to do it, and I am sure there is. There's always a better way to do it, but being able to do it a better way without costing a bunch of money, that's That's my biggest issue. So, and I enjoy if I make something successful and I've made it out of trash or scavenged parts or anything like that. It's just that much more satisfying. So I enjoy that. Um, I guess that's kind of it as far as my background and history and kind of where I want to go. So I thought I would show you kind of where I'm at right now. I'm not going to get into the Raspberry Pi and the video camera stuff yet. That's kind of on the back burner. I'm getting a little closer to my 3D printer, which is my primary objective at the moment. I really want to get a 3D printer up and running. I've never had one. I know a couple guys that have them, and it just looks like a lot of fun to me. And sorry, trying to get the glare off my glasses there. I need to put a new light up. So um, I've been collecting bits and pieces here and there for a little while now, and starting out, I'm just going to make it with what I can, and then hopefully once I get it up and running, I can use it to create better parts. For example, um, what I'm going to be using for this first part is some aluminum that I got for free, and it came from some columns like this. I assume you can see this. I've switched to editor mode, so hopefully that's coming across. Let me try. Yes, okay, it looks like it's there. All right, so anyway, I got some of this aluminum extrusion or aluminum tubing for free, and you'll see it's got scroll work bolted into it, and all I did was take and remove the scroll work. See if I can get that picture up for you. There's a picture of what I actually got, and it's nice 1.5 by 1.5 square tubing, 16th inch wall. I believe it's going to make a really nice frame. There's the scroll work that I unbolted from it and removed, and that wound up leaving me with some nice square tubing. I got to clean it up there. That's not a good picture, but and there's what it looks like from the end. So that's the first pieces that I'm going to use to build my printer. I'm excited. I think that's going to work well. I'm going to have to take and probably build some corner pieces. I planned on making those out of some oak lumber for the moment that will slip into this and then be 90 degrees and slip into the other one, and then I can put a bolt through them. And then once I get the thing up and running, I can later go back and 3D print all my corners and brackets and everything, and make it a little more presentable and nicer. But hopefully, making them out of wood, I don't think there'll be an issue. I've seen several wooden 3D printers out there, so if I make the corner pieces out of oak, it should be solid enough. So that's kind of the first pieces that I started with. I'm thinking power supply. I've got a few around here that are out of computers, ATX power supplies, and I've seen videos where people have opened them up and cut a lot of the wiring harness out and ended up with a power supply that will work. So I'm planning on going that route because I don't have any other options at the moment that's free. So let's see. Then the next thing I did come across, and I did actually pay for these. We have a little hardware store in a couple towns down the road, and he has a lot of things that are just kind of off the wall. There's a lot of bearings and wheels and all kinds of stuff. And I ended up finding, let's see if I can get this all in there, finding these tubes, and there's some kind of an axle for something. I don't know. It could be a trash can axle, those rolling toters. There's a possibility that's what it is. He didn't know. It's just an axle. It was with the wheels, and it comes with the washers and polylock nuts, and it's stainless steel, half-inch tubing, and solid as a freaking rock, but not as heavy as a solid rod. So I'm really excited that this is gonna do a good job. It's not an 8mm rod, so the, what are they, LMU 88, whatever they are, linear bearings, those ain't gonna work. And half-inch linear bearings are not cheap. So I'm gonna come up with some kind of a bushing or something that I can use temporarily, and then I'm going to try to print some new bearings, bushings, whatever. I'm going to try to print some that I can custom fit to these rods. But I got these, they were $2 a piece, and I can't go to the scrapyard and get it for that. And they're, you know, they've not been beat up. They're brand new, and they are, let's see, they're half-inch diameter between the threads. Let's see if you can see that. And here we go. The threads, if you go from here to the other end, not counting the threads, they're 23.5 inches long, which is 596.9 millimeters, according to Google. That's going to be a big thing for me, is learning how to do all this stuff in metric, because everything seems to be in metric with 3D printers. So I'll get it. I'm pretty good with math, so we'll get there. If you include the threads, they are 622.3 millimeters, so 600 millimeter rods. I think that's going to be a nice size printer. It's big. You know, I was going to buy an A8 and then start with that and then tear it apart and reuse parts to build a bigger one. And I was doing the math, and really, for the parts that I need off of it, I can actually get it probably cheaper just buying the bare bones components that I have to buy and build everything else, because I was going to adapt it anyway. So if I'm going to start from scratch and build it, the controller doesn't care if it's 200 millimeter bed or 200 millimeter capacity or 500 millimeter capacity. So I've decided, mainly based on this, I got plenty of the square tubing, so I could have made that any size I wanted. But when I found these rails, what I'm going to use for rails, that kind of made the decision for me. They're 600 millimeters long. I'll have a little bit of loss with the carriage bearings and all that, so I'm expecting to get a 500 millimeter travel in all three directions. So 500 millimeter by 500 millimeter by 500 millimeter is my goal, and we'll see how that works out. But I'm really excited. I think it's going to work out well. I think I'm going to end up going with a ramps board, direct extruder. You know, I just have to just get the cheap stuff, whatever I can get by with, and then someday I can upgrade. So there's the axles, the tubing. I got to make the corner pieces. I have to buy the electronics. Can't make those. And the motors. I've been trying to scavenge the motors, but I'm just not having any luck with anything that's either way too small or way too big. So probably just have to buy those, and they're not real expensive, but it's going to take me a little bit to get that the funds for that put together. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at right now, and that's what's going on, and that's kind of my plans. And I hope that you guys will join me through the journey, and I hope you'll check back often, and you know, leave me some comments, anything, you know, whatever you think. If you see things that I'm doing wrong, or see things that I could do better, or see bugs in my live streams, or anything that you can think of that will help me get better, please leave me some comments. Um, I've been working real hard trying to get a lot of things changed over. My other video stuff was more heating and air related, and definitely a lot lower level video production quality. Um, I didn't really care. I was tinkering and it didn't matter. But I really do want to take this up to the next level. So definitely give me some feedback. Hopefully you'll see the grandkids on here quite a bit. You know, I want this to be something that they learn from. I'm definitely going to learn from, and maybe somewhere along the way, um, I might have something that you guys didn't think of or haven't come up with yet or anything. I got a couple ideas that I have not seen in a video yet, and so once I get things running smoothly, I plan on putting some videos out there that maybe I can help somebody else. If nothing else, at least maybe some new people that have never even touched it. So those are my goals. I want to help everybody I can and leave a legacy for my grandkids. And if you need to get a hold of me, I'm kind of all over the place. I've tried to set everything to the same name, same username. So you should be able to put in PaPaw's Projects on. I don't have the Facebook page up yet. I got to add that. But I have my YouTube is PaPaw's Project, Twitter is PaPaw's Projects. Um, what else? I don't remember. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook I still have to do. It escapes me. I think there's another couple that is out there that I just changed over. Oh, Patreon. I just set up a Patreon account, and it's under PaPaw's Projects. I went and did the buy me a coffee thing, and that's under PaPaw's Projects. And there, I'll try to get all the links put in this if I can figure out where everything goes and how to do it. Um, I'll put that stuff in there as quick as I can, and as soon as I get all the bugs worked out, and I'll try to get that Facebook page up and running soon. So that's kind of it for today. Um, it was good to see you, and like I said, I hope you'll join me on this journey and come back and see me often. I think we're going to have a lot of fun and learn some things. So thank you very much, and I will see you soon. Bye.